I've been looking forward to you coming for years. Yeah, I've been asking the administration. You know,
And what about you?
Yeah, exactly. And then,
For years also?
and then when you're finally here, I'm not even a part of the orchestra because of her.
Yeah, it's all your
It's
fault.
all your fault. Therapy in 20 years, it's all your fault.
Yes. So how can? Yeah, it's her fault.
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
go a lot to therapy? Do you do therapy?
Well, her name is Maria, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a song that you know for her, right?
Yeah.
Maria, I just met a girl named
The
Maria.
Well, you two guys met already at Menuhin School.
Yes,
when
we
you
were a
kids.
little bit older than Maria,
Yes.
although mentally we're pretty close. We're pretty close to Maria. Yeah, we met at the Menuhin School, and almost since then we've been plotting what we're doing now. There was Christmas parties at the school, and every Christmas party we would come up with something together, but we'd be very serious about it. So it was fun, but very serious, like what we're doing tonight with the Oslo Philharmonic. It's fun, but it's of course, especially with orchestra, you know, it all has to be written down, has to be precise, has to be rehearsed. I mean, Vasily is fantastic. I mean, I can't wait to see. I wish I could be a fly in the audience, watching the audience's reaction when they experience what's happening, because I think they're not gonna expect what's gonna happen to them.
Well, the thing is, the great thing about Vasily is that he, just like us, he's taking the funny part very seriously.
Very seriously.
And that's the best way to do anything humorous, is that you really rehearse it, practice it, and
Well,
and
I mean,
time
why
it.
wouldn't you take Rossini seriously, or Haydn seriously, or Mozart, Magic Flute? You know, these works have to be taken very seriously. And
Yeah. So what was the attraction between you? I mean, apart
His
from the
hair.
obvious good looks,
His hair.
of course.
my
Yeah,
beautiful long blonde hair.
I was
Yeah.
very attracted to his
Look at
hair,
it.
and now he has less hair. But you know, that's the thing with once you fall in love, it doesn't matter. Once you're there,
Oh,
then
that's
you
true.
stay
But
in love,
it's true.
right?
But you know, I just also have to say, we are not gay anymore.
No.
So
So, I mean, what happened?
no, nothing happened. It just
Just one day.
Okay. And you have now done some of the provincial towns in Norway, like Bergen and Trondheim. And you finally,
Provincial towns. I love.
Is
This
that-
is the
is that-
the Oslo complex.
Yes.
now you've done the little provincial bag in Trondheim.
There's
Now
the-
we come to
Yes.
Oslo.
There's the
Yes.
Stockholm syndrome and the Oslo complex.
So what's different here in Oslo?
Well, the people are like you are a little more arrogant.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Of course we are.
Of course.
No, the look, Norwegian people are lovely everywhere. I think the difference
And the
is
babes aren't so good.
yeah.
In Bergen.
Of course they're not as good, because you
No.
are generally better. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, look, Bergen is wonderful, Trondheim is wonderful. I think generally, I mean, there's rather than what's different, I think what's amazing is the level of musicianship is incredibly high in Norway. I mean, it's a small country, especially the inhabitants.
They're very small,
They're very
yes.
small. Well, actually, not that small.
No, they're tall.
Quite
You
tall.
guys are tall.
But
Great skiers.
but really, the level of musicianship is really high. We have some very dear musicians from Norway, like you know, the
Right.
Hemsing sisters, of course, Elbjørg and Ragnhild and
They're
Vilde.
coming tonight.
Yeah, and Vilde Frang is a dear friend of ours as well. And even there, you can see you have incredible musicians who are so versatile, and yet at the same time great chamber musicians. And that's what's special generally in Norway, that the level is very high, not just of brilliance and virtuosity. I mean, they're all excellent players, the orchestra as well, but also they really listen. It's a country where people listen to each other musically, as people maybe as well could be.
Yes.
I think
Definitely.
the Norwegians are good listeners.
The Norwegians are not only good listeners, the Norwegians have an emotional intelligence that a lot of the world doesn't.
Really?
Yes, definitely. The Norwegians think ahead. The Norwegians have I mean, I don't know of any other country, maybe with the exception of Australia, that acted so quickly to the gun massacres that happened here, the tragedies that happened in Norway. And what was so amazing about that was Norwegians, people, instead of being angry and condemning, and rage. They instead said, okay, there's a problem with the system. Why should this happen? Let's think about how we could possibly create a way that this doesn't happen again. And that's the only way to go forward. And so even people who were wounded personally, they were the first ones to say, no, we have to be forgiving, we have to be understanding, we have to find solutions. I mean, if only the rest of the world would think like this.
Yeah.
And are there guns here now? No, you got rid of it like this. And I think that says a lot about the mentality here, and you feel that. You feel a warmth. I mean, there's this kind of...
A very cold warmth
yes,
during
yeah,
January.
Yeah, it's a lot of snow. But no, I mean, if one says that the Norwegians are reserved, but actually there's a huge warmth, and one feels that with the orchestra. Everybody was saying, oh, you're going to play with the Oslo Philharmonic. Ooh, they're a bit reserved. But you're going to see tonight, I mean, they're going to be going nuts. They're already doing it now in rehearsal, as you saw.
Yeah,
and it's just going to just explode.
But, well, I'm really happy that you see our nation and orchestra in this way, of course, because you travel all around.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
Yes, you do. Must be a dream.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It is, and Oslo is one of the few capital cities that
In the world that we have not played.
Well, at least in Europe.
Yeah, no, we had to wait, you know.
Because you had to be the last. You had to
Yes.
make sure that Igudesman Joo, they had to play in everywhere before they were qualified.
No, we had to practice our steps.
Yeah,
River
okay,
dance,
okay,
you
yeah,
know.
that's true.
No,
Yeah.
we actually thought Oslo didn't like us.
No, because
Yeah, that's
exactly.
exactly how we felt.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you,
no,
Maria.
but it was fun because we played in Bergen Festival, I think 4 or 5 times, and that's a big, prestigious festival.
Yes.
Stavanger.
And yeah,
Trondheim.
and practically everywhere, but Oslo was like,
Carnegie Hall
not
and-
yet, not yet. We'd like, no, not yet, but now.
Yeah, you're ready with all your equipment and everything.
Exactly.
So, but you are also bringing 2 pieces that are a little bit different here. One piece that you have composed, beautiful South American inspired.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well,
and
it kind of makes sense to bring a little bit of warmth in January
yeah,
to
please.
to Norway with a song called Uruguay.
Yeah, and
I think only the title is South American. The rest is kind of like Russian Jewish, with a bit of congas.
Yeah, it's still very Latin American. It's not directly actually very typical for Uruguayan music.
No,
because
I
it's
know,
not
I
tango,
know,
but
I
it's
know, yeah.
it's like a mix of Latin American.
yeah, so you even
rhythms.
composed and arranged. You have arranged a movement from Edvard Grieg's Holberg Suite.
Yes, actually, I've
And-
done the whole suite, the whole Holberg suite,
Yeah,
which I
because
call
Grieg
the...
isn't so good.
No, actually, it's because I love the Greek so much.
He was always annoyed that he couldn't play in it.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and I know there's a solo piano version,
there's a solo piano.
but I actually find that the string version has so many things that are better than the piano version. There's some things that work great with the piano version, but I would love to play like, and I thought, wait a minute, why don't I marry the two? And since we're kind of in the 21st century and I'm interested in all kinds of music, I thought, why not slightly recompose it? As if Grieg were alive today. Had Grieg traveled, or had Grieg heard jazz, or had he, include these elements of improvisation, what might it sound like? So the Holberg variations, of which we're only playing one movement today, the air, but is basically a kind of recomposed version of the old, which is interesting because the Holberg variations itself is kind of pieces done in the old style.
Yes.
So this is something done in the old style of the old style. It's a bit like looking in the mirror, in the mirror, in the mirror, in the mirror. All those matrushkas. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, we both write a lot of music. Actually, there's even a piece that we both wrote together, which Vasily, Maestro Petrenko is performing with the orchestra. It's called "Ring in the Classics," where you hear all these different cell phone tones integrated into the orchestra. Exactly,
Yes.
and this is actually published on Universal Edition. We have we're both very prolific composers, so we both write a lot of music that's also played by other people, which maybe not everybody knows, but I've written a lot of duets for 2 violins. He's written some beautiful piano music, including a lullaby
Yeah,
for this little
he just
girl.
played it for Maria.
Yeah.
But she loved it.
Good. Well, there's so composition is a very big part, very important
Yeah.
part for us.
And you also give master classes. Maybe not everybody knows. You
Yes,
know, from
we do.
the age of 8 until 88.
88. Yes, so if you're
So-
89, forget
No.
it. They say, learning never ends. No, it does. When you're 89, it ends.
Yeah.
You can't
For
learn
with
anymore.
Us, with us.
Yeah, with us.
Well-
Unless
Yeah.
you pay us a lot of
A
money.
lot of money.
A lot of money.
Lot of
Okay,
money.
so what do you want to bring in? What do you want to give to your
Pass on.
Yeah, pass on to your students.
I think the most important thing that we both really would love to pass on is the spirit of creativity. We are both big believers in creativity being a way of life, being a solution to dealing with life. Not everybody has an advantageous life. Not everybody has an easy life. But if you find ways of being creative, and you are creative with your life and how you live it, it can be a very, very fulfilling life.
So in a way, it's a when we do master classes, mostly we do things individually. A very important theme besides the playing is also something that you can take home with you for yourself. That's what we believe in.
Right.
Well, that's fantastic because you don't always get that from your teacher.
No, you don't. And actually, that's a
Staying-
lot of the things that we cover in our classes. Because a lot of the teaching, while it's expertise teaching, is actually quite narrow. And it only deals with how you hold your bow or your wrist position, or whether this D sharp is an enharmonic of E flat or not, which is all great. You all need to know that stuff. But then there's stuff that goes beyond the practice room, beyond what life. And what do you do if you are a musician and you want to make music in the world? I mean, nobody's really equipped with that. Nobody tells you. And actually, come to think about it, even people who have an advantageous life, who are very comfortable financially, they're also very miserable.
They still
actually, a
don't
lot of them
know
are
what
very
to do
miserable
and-
because they're not creative. They don't know what to do with their lives. They don't know what to do with their
Yeah,
money.
of course.
Yeah, exactly. It's very simple. Basically, every day we wake up and we have a world of possibilities. This is the first thought in a way that one can have in his life. Many people wake up and think, "Oh my God, another day,"
Right.
And there are many different ways of doing that. You start off obviously with our classes. We start with the music. We start what can one do differently, what can one do in a fresh way, in a new way, and then we talk about more than that.
So, are you seafood lovers?
Anything
And fish?
any food I see, I love.
course.
Yeah.
Seafood,
Seafood.
I love food.
You have wonderful seafood, of course, in Norway.
Yeah.
Of course, you have.
But you chose to live in Vienna.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they have Norwegian food in Vienna.
Exactly. No, Vienna is a wonderful
Jarlsberg, they have.
place. You have wonderful a wonderful living quality in Vienna, of course. And you have so many great people,
Yes. Yeah.
so many great musicians
Yes,
coming
it's
there, and
fantastic.
it's a really good center.
Yes. So, are you prepared to go to Lillehammer? You know that's where we had the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Lillehammer, and
It's gonna be even colder than here.
meeting your Royal Highness. That's big deal. What should we say to her? Is there anything we should? Is
Is
there
that-
like an inside tip, like
is that-
something,
do you-
something that we could
do you
say to
bow
the
in a
Queen, where
special
she's going to be
way?
like, yo, it's like a secret, yo, it's
Like-
like, yo.
Like a queen
I don't know, like a queen, but
backhand, like-
where she's kind of going to go, oh, those guys, they're cool.
Well, you know, her grandson did something at the 17th of May, our
Okay.
National
Oh.
Day, which is very.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes,
What
he
did he do?
did. He did the dab.
Yeah. Yes.
He
Oh,
did the
really?
dab. Yeah, let's do that.
So she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
She knows.
Oh,
Yes.
so he did, and she
she's
knows
very
about the
modern.
dab.
Wow.
He did this.
The
one-
whole world knows about the dab. It was
Oh, no,
on
no,
the-
really?
Yeah, her
yes.
grandson. Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
should do it at one point in the show. We should
Yes.
do this. Hey,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know who this is for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. We
And-
got the secret handshake.
Yes. So now you're all ready
We're in.
for Oslo.
Yes.
Yeah, and we love you. So
thank
next
you.
time, I really hope that maybe I can do some steps with you.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's
even
great, but
Maria,
I-
if you please come back a little bit sooner, so that maybe she will do it instead of me.
Maria, how
Yeah,
about
yeah,
you
yeah.
take your steps with us? Hmm? We could brainwash you completely. 8 to 88. Yes.
Yeah, you'll get her covered.
Join us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
Maria, 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 Maria. I just met a girl named
The Simpsons.
I want to be in America, occupy me in America. I want to be in America, occupy me in America, everything free in America.
I want to be in Norway.